Hello, and welcome back. Now, if you can tell by the title of the video on screen that we're going to watch, HP has apparently launched a subscription service for their laptops. Now, if you've watched the channel and you know me, you know that I hate subscription services, and on top of that, pointless subscription services that are just creating e-waste in technology as well as stealing your ownership and your right to ownership. I think HP is an incredibly scummy company, and they have been for a long time, with their lackluster products and lack of ability to repair products. They just, I don't know, it's like they find the worst way to do business and every way they can to screw the consumer, and people just buy up HP laptops like no other. Now, no hate if you own an HP laptop, I just think you could do better. And Linus here is going to talk about some points that he says make the right customer for a product like this, but I don't believe there is a right customer for this model. And ultimately, I think the HP laptop subscription will be a complete failure, but I did think it was interesting to hear him try and give some defense to it. So I wanted to go ahead and just review his take on this video and then add my thoughts upon it. So let's go ahead and get started.
Hey, so before this video begins, I have been tweaking the audio that I recorded, and for some reason, it's just all clipped, and it sounds kind of rough at points. I apologize, but as you can hear now, audio is fixed. This won't happen again, but yeah. Thank you for watching, and let's go ahead and jump into the video.
How is it that everything is a subscription these days? At work, I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on software, and then in my personal life, I'm expected to subscribe to everything from cloud storage to healthy junk food to toothbrushes to get the aforementioned junk food out of my braces. Do you guys remember the one for coins for laundry? Just $14.99 a month for $10 in quarters. And if you want my 2 bits, that right there is the problem. I'm always paying way more than if I just bought the stuff outright in the first place. This whole you'll own nothing and you'll like it philosophy has infected everything. And now HP, not content with subscription printer ink, wants me to subscribe to my gaming laptop too? Is nothing sacred? On the surface, HP's program here doesn't look like that bad of a deal, but I've been burned before, and I can't help but feel like there must be something hiding under the surface.
Okay, so off cuff, you can tell that he also is playing up this angle that this is a bad investment for anybody, and I think deep down he does truly believe that. However, like, I just don't understand the concept of HP thinking, what if people just didn't own their laptops? The whole point of this subscription service is so that they can trap you and then get more money out of you when you inevitably mess up and don't follow by the terms of their subscription service. There's clearly rules in place as to what you can and cannot do with this laptop. And if you go off the beaten path and you don't do what they say and you don't use the computer like HP and Microsoft and every other company and tied to this project wants you to use your laptop, well, tough luck, buddy. You're gonna have to cash out some dollarinos to make up the difference for their inconvenience of having to take care of their laptop for you.
HP currently includes 4 different options in their consumer subscription program, ranging from about $35 to $85 a month for the unit we've got here. And you know what? It's a nice little machine. Let's just see how much crap they've preloaded on it. Oh, good Lord, the taskbar. 3 of the 8 items down here are AI tools. And even worse, HP's AI companion app will pop up periodically telling me how much it respects my privacy. You can right off with that. HP Wolf Security is in here. That's their endpoint security offering, which I don't know a ton about, but they make all the right noises in their marketing materials, and it seems to be pretty light on system resources. I tried to remove it from my daily driver HP laptop, and what I discovered is that if you uninstall its various pieces in the wrong order, it falls into a circular dependency death spiral where every component of it claims that another component needs to be uninstalled first, and poor Easy Rider 750 here was only able to resolve a similar issue with a full system reformat. So,
Yep, Classic HP for you. If you didn't realize it, HP is just adding tons of bloat and crap to control and advertise to you. And you don't need HP being Big Brother looking over you and controlling what it is you do on your computer, okay? You probably paid about $1,000 for the damn thing. You should do whatever you want on it. Like, I don't know, install Linux, because you don't need all this antivirus software on your computer. You just don't. Windows Defender is good enough, and frankly, Windows in and of itself is a virus because you're constantly being monitored, you're constantly being pushed a bunch of AI slop, and when you remove all of the crap and you try to get down to business, a Windows update comes along and then resets all of your settings, and you have to do the whole process over again. And it's just like, you'd better spend your time installing like a KDE based distribution of Linux and then ricing it to your heart's content. And even then, you don't have to really rice a KDE distro because it's already set up pretty damn nice out of the box.
Office 365 trial, that's probably fine. What the heck is mobile plans and operators? Oh, that's right. This thing has 5G, and the data plan is actually included in our monthly subscription fee. That totally makes sense then. So overall, as far as major brands go, not great, but not terrible. Still, there's gotta be a gotcha, right? Let's have a look at the terms and conditions.
So I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but there are no terms and conditions with Linux. It's just free and open software. But let's get besides that point. This might be a hot take of mine, but I heard the new MacBook is supposed to be coming out with a 5G modem inside, and I guess this laptop has 5G. And I've seen people in the framework forums wanting 5G antennas or SIM card slots for, you know, connectivity everywhere. I don't think that's necessary. I mean, on paper it sounds cool, but like, can't you just use your phone's hotspot and not have to pay for, you know, another $25 a month data plan? I'm sure the hotspot has an extra fee in there. Personally, I got rid of my hotspot package just because when I upgraded with Verizon, they got my bill lower, and I never really used the hotspot anyhow. So I think that 5G inside of your laptops is a bit overboard. I feel that this is a bit invasive, perhaps. You're already carrying your phone everywhere. If your laptop has 5G, it's just so that you can be tracked from everywhere you're doing, so that you can never be offline, so that you can never have any bit of anonymity. Now, I'm not the type of guy to go sit by a lakeside with my laptop to be disconnected from the internet. I'm just gonna go, you know, sit by that lakeside without a laptop. I mean, I'll whip it out if I want to watch a movie or something, but I just don't think that you need 5G in a laptop, period.
Overall, the program seems pretty straightforward. You pick your laptop, you add your optional peripherals, for a modest additional monthly fee, of course, and you consent to a soft credit check, which I believe means that HP does not see your score or personal credit information, and that it shouldn't impact your credit score. Assuming you pass the check, you pay your first monthly fee, and then a few days later, your machine shows up in the mail. Then you start your 30-day money-back trial, which was a pretty pleasant surprise for me. It's exactly what it sounds like.
So I remember in the second grade, I saved up a whole lot of money, and when I had enough money, I went to my parents with my cash and I asked them if they would help me buy a laptop. And we went out and we got myself a Dell Inspiron B120. Now, if you don't know what that looks like, go ahead and give it a quick Google search. I'll flash an image of it on the screen here for you. But this was a big, thick, chunky boy, and it had a big screen. It had a DVD drive, it had a VGA cable along with a bunch of USB ports, headphone, and a microphone port, and then Ethernet cable. It had it all. And you know what? I didn't have to go through any of the bullshit that Linus just mentioned that you have to go through as far as like soft credit checks and whatnot. I just handed over my cash and I got my laptop. Now, granted, I was in the second grade, so my memory was a bit, my memory's a bit foggy from those days, but I don't remember it being quite this difficult. it wasn't hard. You just gave them money and you got a computer. And that's how it was even today with my framework, admittedly. And I'm willing to bet that if you were to just go purchase a laptop of any form today in this day and age, it would be that simple still. But HP's got to open the subscription service up and make this completely complicated for everybody because money.
However, if you keep it longer than a month, you are locked in for at least 1 year. So let's take a quick look at the math on that. MSRP on this model is $3,000 US, and at $85 a month, we're gonna pay about a third of that MSRP during our 1 year lock-in period. What happens after a year? Well, that's where things get a little bit more interesting. You can cancel without any penalty and return the laptop. You can carry on paying monthly to use it, which is probably what they're hoping you'll do. Or you can upgrade to a new laptop. That's where things get pretty interesting. Honestly, a pretty appealing sales pitch.
To whom? I guess just to Linus. Now, Linus knows the value of right to repair. I mean, the man invested $250,000 into Framework, but how are you going to sit here with a straight face? I know, straight face. Look at the face on the screen right now and tell me that it is a good deal to pay monthly for a piece of hardware that ultimately you don't own and you can't really do whatever you want with. You can only do what HP will allow you to do. Nobody seems to be understanding that with a lot of the big tech and subscription-based services that happen. Like ChatGPT, there's so many people that will subscribe to ChatGPT and act like they're just gods among men and geniuses, but you're only getting to do what OpenAI will let you do, okay? It's like with YouTube. It's a free service for the most part. You get ads, you can pay for YouTube Premium if you want to, but you ultimately only get to do on YouTube what YouTube lets you do. So why is it that we want to pay monthly for something to have no control over it? I personally would just rather stick to the model of buying a laptop and doing whatever the hell I want to with it. And if I break it, that's my fault. If I'm going to break my laptop, I'm going to break my laptop. It is I mean, like, I guess I'm just too smart. No, but on a serious note, the average person can't really break their computer if all they're doing is just going on the internet and reading the news. I mean, there is already free and open source tools to prevent you from doing something dangerous, like Brave Browser. It will block away trackers and other ads for you. You've got uBlock Origin, which will block away malicious targeted ads. I mean, and if you don't even install the other software in the first place, like all the AI tools and antivirus software that Microsoft and HP are throwing on your computer before you even receive the computer, as soon as you turn it on, it's there. You can't really uninstall it. You have to reinstall Windows or just install Linux. They're trapping you, and they're restricting your ability to just breathe. You honestly, honest to God, buying a MacBook would be a way better deal than subscribing to an HP laptop service. Unreal, in the year 2026, I'm promoting MacBooks in Apple. But hey, you know what? With the prices of RAM and everything, Apple does have the cheapest RAM in the market right now, or at least a very significantly competitive price on their RAM. So I'm gonna drink myself to death.
You will never own this machine, regardless of how long you pay for it. This was another surprise, and this time not a pleasant one. I kind of figured that, like a lease, there might be an option to buy it out at the end of the term. But no, it must go back to HP when you're done. That means no gifting your old laptop to Granny, no repurposing it as a media server, no selling it for a few extra bucks on Marketplace. And on top of that, while HP does seem to expect normal wear and tear on these units, there's no coverage for accidental damage, so it's you break it, you buy it rules. And HP reserves the right to lock down the unit remotely in the event of non-payment.
I'm glad that Linus is actually shining a light on how bad of a deal this actually is, because you're never going to be able to outright own the device. And if you upgrade every single year, you're just creating more e-waste, or in the economy, this is worse for your wallet. HP is just going to turn around and sell these laptops anyway. So they're selling 3 laptops out of 1 unit, more than likely, with your subscription and with what they're going to sell it for. Because here's a little secret to life for you guys, in case you didn't know. Whenever you see the price tag on something, it is not worth that much. I know, what a shocker. Businesses need to make a profit, and these businesses, admittedly, are smart as far as numbers go, and they know how to make numbers multiply. And they're going to find a way to get as much money out of you and give you as little in return as possible. And that is what HP is doing with these subscription laptops. Please, for the love of God, if you're listening to this point in this video, do not ever subscribe to the HP laptop service. You're just screwing yourself. I would rather you buy an HP laptop. That is how bad this deal is.
What if you just spent the $3,000 up front? Sure, in the first couple of years, you will have overpaid compared to your friend who subscribed, but then you are the master of your destiny. You decide when to upgrade, and when you do, you get to sell the unit you own and recoup some of your costs. We found this model on Facebook Marketplace for about 1,000 Canadian or $750 US. First, it means that the catch-up point to your friend who subscribed is actually even sooner than the initial math would suggest. And second, it means that at $3,000 MSRP, this laptop is probably a pretty bad deal. Maybe even intentionally so, to make renting it look like a more appealing option.
Now, I appreciate Linus breaking down the numbers, and excuse me for saying that you bought the laptop 3 times over before you bought it. There's obviously factors that go into there, like how long were you subscribed to this device before you went out and just bought the laptop, or before they took the laptop back from you and then sold it out from you. You get the idea. These companies know how to make money like no other, and they're going to leech off of you and dangle a low price point, with the other side of it being a subscription service and that you don't own anything. All it's going to do is keep you poorer and them richer, and I just really don't want anybody here getting screwed over. So that's why I felt the need to come out here and just tell you that this is a bad deal. I understand Linus has a job to do, so he's going to talk about this and give the pros and the cons, but I'm only going to give you the cons of this, because there are no pros with subscribing to own a laptop. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. There is no pros to subscribing to borrow a laptop. You're renting. It's not a good deal. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you give it a like and that you subscribe. To everybody who's come to the channel, it really warms my heart to see everybody here, all the comments and the new subscribers. Thank you all for sticking around, subscribing, and I will see you next time.